The other day, I was browsing GirlsChannel, which is a message board exclusively for Japanese women. I noticed this thread and couldn't help clicking on it. It's called Tell Me Your Most Embarrassing Moments. Let's check it out. The first post is from a girl who says, one time she was rushing to get on the train just as it was about to depart, but had the doors close right on her face. She managed to pull her head out, but didn't manage to make the train. Apparently, as the train pulled away, everyone inside was laughing at her. There's a hilarious reply. You mean like this? This girl's most embarrassing moment is apparently when she farted on a packed train. There's a lot of fart-related ones, so I'll kind of skip them, but imagine, at high school, in front of the guy you like, while running a marathon. There's a lot of them. To get this next one, just remember that in Japan, karaoke is done in private rooms. At karaoke, after leaving to go to the toilet, I accidentally came back and entered a different group's room. Worse, they were singing a really upbeat song, so I came in all clapping and excited. It was so embarrassing. Once, I was trying to meet up with a friend. I thought I saw them and I approached from behind, tapped them on the shoulder and said, "Sorry, I'm late," but it turned out to be a complete stranger. This girl says, one time at work, her boss reprimanded her in front of 20 other employees. Japanese society has been trying to crack down on this kind of stuff recently, calling it pawahara, which is short for power harassment. As you can see, the term has gotten quite popular. I had a big disagreement with this older guy at work and it led to us having a really loud argument, screaming and crying at each other. It was so embarrassing. My boyfriend and I were going to watch a movie. I tried to say, I want to watch The Sixth Sense, Shikusu Sensu, but I accidentally said, Shikusu 9. On my way to work, I was listening to anime music on the train. Right as the train started to get packed, my headphones happened to get unplugged from my phone. Normally, that would just make the music stop, but as I was frantically trying to stop it myself, I somehow made it play again at max volume. I couldn't get it to stop, so I ran off the train. I could hear people laughing from behind. This girl says that she was in the bathroom washing her hands once in high school when someone let her know that her skirt was stuck like this. She drew it but apologizes for her bad drawing. I think it's a good drawing though. There's this violinist who I respect so much. He's actually my teacher and honestly, I like him so much I can't even speak to him. Even when I go to his concerts, I'm so embarrassed and feel so distant that I just want to go home. One time, after his concert, I was in the lobby absent-mindedly trying to remove some green onion that was stuck in my teeth, and it turned out he was right in front of me. He saw me, and when I think about it now, it makes me cringe. I got a part-time job in high school, and the hours were posted as Shukkinjikan, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. I thought this meant that I could arrive whenever I wanted between those times. Eventually, my boss had to tell me what it actually meant, and it was really embarrassing. Obviously, any reasonable adult would read this as work hours 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. But since shukin is defined as to go to work, it kind of does make sense why she thought what she thought. In Japan, front-facing workers are expected to greet customers as they enter the store with "Irashaimase." This girl says that she was trained to always do so at her shoe store she worked at and made a habit of it. One day, while waiting in line at a supermarket to buy groceries, she accidentally joined in with the employees' "Irashaimase," which would probably be pretty embarrassing. I once bought a calculator, but it was broken. No matter what buttons I pressed, it only showed 888888 on the screen. I wanted to use it ASAP, and I was really frustrated, so I took it back to the electronics store. The employee apologetically removed a transparent sticker from the screen. On it were the numbers 88888. I have this funny habit of, when I'm at home, pulling my pants all the way up to my chest. Once, I accidentally went to the convenience store like this. In high school, I made my phone's notification sound this sound. It's from a famous Japanese comedy show where the participants are not allowed to laugh. If they do laugh, they're out, and then it plays that sound. I forgot to put my phone on silent one day, and in class, it went off. Everyone was laughing. The teacher didn't notice though. This next thread is the dumbest reasons for a breakup that you've been in. This girl says that when she was in university, she was dating a guy she didn't really like but was kind of giving him a chance. They went to Purikura, which is like a photo booth thing where you can take cute pictures of yourself. I've done it a few times, it's pretty fun, but sometimes people can go way too far with it, as you can see. Anyways, we took pictures and he uploaded them onto his Mixi profile, which is kind of like a Japanese MySpace back in the day, but he only put the filters on himself and left her like plain. They broke up after that. This girl broke up with her boyfriend because he was picking his nose with a car key. His face when he was about to kiss me was just too creepy. I couldn't imagine what it would have been like had we gone any further. I was happy when we were just holding hands though. We were playing a PlayStation game where you need to mash buttons a lot. He stuck his tongue out and started moving it along to the rhythm of his mashing, which I thought was really creepy. These are 3 stories from girls who broke up with their boyfriends because of them singing too poorly or too enthusiastically at karaoke. He was telling a story about how he bullied a kid into not coming to school anymore, acting as if it was heroic somehow. I lost all interest. The reply says that that's not a dumb reason to break up with someone at all. He complained way too much and it made him seem unreliable. He got out of the bath before me, used a towel, and then handed it to me while smiling. He asked me for money and told me he'd pay me back double next month. He blew his nose into the sleeve of his t-shirt as if it was perfectly natural. He was on his phone for our entire first date. I wonder if he was telling people online about it in real time. His height. He was 5 centimeters shorter than me, so I broke up with him. But when I met him years later, he was much taller and much more attractive. I really missed out. This next thread is about who should pay on a date. In my experience dating in Japan, compared to the West, I'd say it's a bit more socially acceptable to split the bill. I was young though, and as you get older, there are probably more expectations for the man to pay. Anyways, an article was posted on GirlsChannel yesterday profiling a late 30s Japanese man with a yearly income of 3 million yen, expressing discontent with the idea that men should pay every time. It was the #1 most replied to thread, so here's what they were saying. The first reply is, "Men who won't pay have no value." This comment is obviously controversial, evidenced by the upvote downvote ratio. Well, if paying makes him unhappy, he shouldn't pay. End of discussion. I hear men will pay for everything for attractive women and try to split the bill with not so attractive ones. I was talking to my Japanese friend about this thread, and I didn't even show him this post, but he said the same thing. With an income of only 3 million yen, he has no choice but to split the bill. This girl says she's had enough of these paying for people threads. I guess there's been a lot on GirlsChannel recently. I don't see how he could save any money if he was paying for everything. I don't care who pays, but I don't like it when men stand carefree, pretending not to notice when I'm carrying lots of heavy stuff. Sometimes I see couples where the wife is carrying both the kids and all their luggage, and I think the man mustn't be very thoughtful. People who can only think about their own profit and loss shouldn't get married. This guy is definitely not popular with women. It's fine if they say they don't want to carry our heavy stuff or pay for our food, but women will be swept up by guys who can do that stuff. One time, when I was really young and new to Japan, I scored a date with an older woman. I was around 19 and she was probably around 26. She wanted to go to karaoke, so I chose a place near my apartment and walked to meet her there. She told me she was hungry, so I was like, oh, okay, there's a place right beside. We ate there, then went to karaoke, but she was really upset at me all night and I couldn't figure out why. It wasn't until years later when I realized I had taken her to Saizeria, which is a cheap family restaurant, and taking a girl there on a date is such a bad idea that people meme about it. There was even a joke in a Japanese TV show I watched about it, and I kind of cringed thinking about myself in the past. Speaking of fast food, I actually stumbled upon a thread on GirlsChannel where they were talking about Manaris, the Japanese internet legend who has been cursed to eat fast food every day for 1200 days and counting. In my last video, I interviewed him and told his whole story. I loved making it, and it's actually my favorite video on my whole channel. Go check it out. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, and see you next time.